Hello everyone, Bashar here. Today we have some changes, some balance changes to Hearthstone. The first card here, as you can see on the screen, is the Conjurer's Calling. Well, as soon as this card was announced, I declared that it was too powerful. Thing is, guys, the ability itself, what the card does itself is already good without the twin spell, right? That renders the card immediately overpowered because, I mean, it's an okay card on its own, and you can actually do it twice. That's too much, right? In order to make it more balanced, you have to make it waste some mana at the very least, or change the effect. Well, this kind of effect can be hardly replaced, so making the mana cost higher was the logical approach. So they just did that finally after dominating the meta for quite a few months. So now, guys, Conjurer's Calling is 4 mana. Because, guys, you can use a powerful minion to trade down with, it's not even trade, you just eat your opponent's best minion with your strong minion, then you just get 2 more with full health. And it's especially powerful on Mountain Giant because the only other 12 cost minion in the game is a 7/8 Taunt, which provides you with defense. So the card was pretty powerful, especially, guys, turn 3 Arcane Intellect, turn 4, turn 5 coin out Mountain Giant, then coin out the Conjurer's Calling, which was an insane opener. Now these are prevented, and also it was extremely good in Arena, guys. I can hardly remember that Mage had a non-legendary card that was better than Flame Strike. Now they did up until now. So these changes are live, by the way, guys. Now they are active. So Conjurer's Calling is 4 mana, and this is making me chuckle, guys. After 5 years they decided to buff some cards, and now they are realizing that they have failed at it, and they are re-nerfing the cards back to whatever they were. This happens to Lunar's Pocket Galaxy and extra arms. So thing is, guys, I kept always saying this, but you may not know because I was streaming in Turkish back then. So you should not skip numbers, guys. If you want to buff a 7 mana card, you should get it to 6 first, right? And if it's still too weak, just buff it to 5 again. That works. But why would you skip a number? Because, guys, these cards take a lot of effort in the making. There is a development team that works on this, and they decided to release it for 7 mana, right? They failed a bit. The card was bad, but, guys, still, getting one card 1 mana cheaper is pretty strong buff, right? So if you want to make this card playable, just make it 6 mana first. And they did the same with Giggling Inventor, guys. It was extremely overpowered at 5 mana, but they made it 7 mana, and there are very specific decks that play it only now. It could have been nerfed to 6 mana, and it still could have stayed in the meta. So, like I said, this is a laughable change. I think they should have kept it at 6 mana, maybe, just so we could see. And Dr. Boom, guys, everyone has been complaining about this. This is a good change. This is the first time I'm okay with actually skipping a mana, guys, because the card was extremely overpowered when it got coined out on turn 6 or played right on turn 7. Because, guys, the armor that it provides is normally higher than a hero card, and the hero power that provides armor is also extremely high. And, guys, if you're playing against an aggro deck, if you get the armor hero power like 2 turns within playing this, they will have a very hard job, right? Because you will be gaining 14 armor, 7 from playing it and 7 from the armor, the hero power. So this time I'm okay with skipping 8. I guess it would be too powerful even at 8 mana. I was thinking more of a armor reduction, guys. Instead of raising the mana cost, for example, making it 8 mana cost maybe, and giving the play armor, making the play armor 5 and making the hero power armor 6 or 5. So, but this looks okay. I have no objections. It's a good nerf. It's a well received nerf. Everyone was looking for it, and this is another laughable nerf, guys. So they actually made the card 2 mana from 3 mana, and now they are re-nerfing it to 3 mana again. So thing is, guys, I mean, when you're buffing a card, I mean, some cards are a little bit harder to read. For example, Corridor Creeper, right? But this card is obvious, right? I mean, if you make extra arms 2 mana, it's ridiculously overpowered because, guys, there's a card called Blessing of Kings, and it's perfectly playable in Standard and even Wild in some decks. And guys, extra arm is strictly better, right? Because you can use extra arms as a 4 mana 4/4, 4 mana +4/+4, or you could divide it, or you can even partially pay the mana. For example, turn 1 Northshire Cleric, turn 2 extra arms, 3/5 attacking by turn 3, 2 guys, and you have another 2 mana +2/+2. I mean, this kind of buff should not be made. I mean, making a card strictly better than Blessing of Kings is a bad move. And I mean, you can tell this right away, right? I mean, it's not a surprising thing, guys. Like I said, Corridor Creeper was a bit harder to read. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought this might be a good card or something, but I could not tell that it would be played on every single deck there is. But extra arms was obvious, right? Giggling Inventor was obvious, and they should stop doing that. It's not a good move because, guys, Hearthstone is esports, and there are tournaments out there which are worth millions of dollars in their reward pool, and I mean, making this kind of buffs and taking them back, I mean, doesn't give a very professional feeling. And this is the best nerf there is, guys. I mean, I have been saying this for quite some time. I actually think Barnes should be 6 mana, but I'll take this. This is okay, but should have been 6 mana because, guys, if you remember, that deck doesn't start doing anything other than killing minions before turn 6 with the Shadow Essence. I think that was the card's name. The 6 mana that puts a 5/5 copy of a minion from your deck. And guys, Barnes takes that 2 turns earlier. Makes the deck's interaction start at turn 4, and now it's been pulled to turn 5. It's better, but maybe making it 6 mana and a 4/4 would have been better. But like I said, I'll take it. It's a fine nerf. I mean, it should have happened. The extra arms and Luna's Pocket Galaxy ones are a bit funny, to be honest. So these are the nerfs that we have received today. And also, guys, they have designed a new format for Grandmasters. Let me show you. Okay, well, we had the laughable specialist format in season 1, guys. And in the specialist format, if you remember, it was similar to Magic the Gathering sideboard. You make a deck, and you are allowed to change up to 5 cards, and you make a secondary deck, and you are allowed to change 5 cards from the original deck again, which is your tertiary deck, and you started the game with your primary deck, and between games you were allowed to change your deck to the secondary or tertiary, or stay with the primary. So that was the format, and we kept seeing Luna's Pocket Galaxy over and over, guys, and the format was boring, and they have retired that format, and now they are just improving on the famous Conquest format, guys. So each player will bring 4 classes and 4 decks with those classes, and of course the classes have to be separate. For example, Rogue, Mage, Priest, Shaman. And before the banning occurs, every player shields one of their decks. Of course, this is the deck. This would be the deck that you were hoping to win with, guys, against that lineup. So for example, I will be shielding my priest and my opponent will be shielding his hunter, and then we ban one deck from our opponent. I mean, I ban my opponent's shaman, he bans my rogue, and then each player picks a deck. We play a game. After, for example, I win, I have to change my deck, and the first player who reaches 2 wins takes the match. So guys, the shielded deck is actually very important because you will not be using one of your decks, right? For example, I picked my shielded priest and win, and then the guy wins with his shielded deck, and then I pick my shaman and win, and the match is over, right? So I will not be using my third match. Only semifinals and finals will be using all decks. So the shielded deck will actually play an important role. I think this is better, guys. I mean, instead of trying to invent a new format, which horribly failed, they are improving upon the existing and well-known formats. I think this is a better approach. It's less risky. Of course, guys, you could invent something great and that would be very nice, but it could also miserably fail. And they also are making Zephrys even smarter. That's what we've been told, guys. So he should prioritize weapon removal if our opponent has a weapon. And some cards were not getting offered properly. They have improved that, and it should go for lethal for most of the time. But guys, I would remind you that Zephrys only takes into account public information. Public information means the number of cards in your opponent's hand. For example, if Zephrys sees like 9 cards or maybe 10 cards in your opponent's hand, he can offer you Cold Light Oracle in Wild, so you could make him overdraw, or your hand size, the minions on the board, their attacks, right? Their keywords, guys. Regular abilities are not taken into account by Zephrys, but the keywords are. For example, Wind Fury is taken into account. Your opponent's taunts are taken into account by Zephrys. So if Zephrys offers you some kind of lethal pulling card, guys, there is a chance that he is actually offering you a lethal that you have missed. So do be careful with that. For example, a Bloodlust or a Savage Roar. And also, guys, Zephrys only offers basic or classic cards, so don't go looking for Colossus of the Moon or whatever. I mean, don't go looking for cards that are not in basic or in classic. You will be only offered basic and classic cards. And what was I? So I have play tested the card a bit, guys. I mean, I'm not playing Hearthstone a lot right now, but he really offers very nice stuff. I mean, when Shadow Flame offers a full clear, gives you Shadow Flame, it gives you Twisting Nether if you're back behind in board, and Zephrys only takes into account that turn, guys. I mean, your remaining mana that turn and the next turn. Zephrys will not provide you a play with lethal after 5 turns or something like that. It just doesn't do that, right? I mean, if you're at turn 8, it will not give you Pyroblast so you can have a lethal 2 turns later. And I was saying, guys, it doesn't take into account the cards in your hand, because that's not public information, right? The number of cards in your hand is public information and it is known by your opponent, but the cards in your hand are only known by you, so therefore Zephrys will not take that into account. Allow me to give an example, guys. If your opponent is at, for example, 12 life and you have a Fireball in hand and you have a Zephrys and 10 mana, obviously, and Zephrys will work. So the method that you should get lethal is Fireball your opponent's face, bringing him down to 6 life, play Zephrys. Zephrys will give you Fireball, and you will Fireball your opponent's face and have lethal. And this is how you miss lethal. Looking at your Fireball, okay, 2 Fireballs are lethal, and you play Zephrys and you will not have lethal. Because Zephrys does not see the Fireball in your hand. So if you want a Zephrys lethal, guys, you should first use your direct damage on your opponent's face. For example, if you eviscerate your opponent's face and then cast a Bloodlust, you will have lethal. Then that's what you should do. But also the problem is, guys, for example, if you need to combo that eviscerate, then it will not work, right? Because if you do eviscerate first, then you will have missed 2 damage. Eviscerate Zephrys, Bloodlust will not have the lethal. But if you play Zephrys first, it will not see the eviscerate and will not give you the Bloodlust. Of course, that's only if the lethal is close, right? But if you have 10 mana and have a 1 mana card, then it's obvious. You play your 1 mana card, you eviscerate your opponent's face, then you play Zephrys, and finally play the Bloodlust, guys. So there are positions that Zephrys will look like he will give you the lethal, but he will not be able to. And there are positions, if you make a mistake in playing the order of the cards, then that will fail too. What I was saying about the abilities, guys, for example, Zephrys will not see Grom's Enrage. So, for example, you attack with everything and have a Grom on board and play Zephrys. Zephrys will not give you that backstab that will enrage the Grom and kill your opponent. Because, guys, Grom is considered as 4 damage by Zephrys. Zephrys cannot read his enrage ability. So that's that. So sometimes, guys, Zephrys may not work. Sometimes it is just impossible, as with the Bloodlust example, Bloodlust Eviscerate. And sometimes you have to do the order correctly. But it's an awesome card, guys. I think it is the best card in the game right now, and I wouldn't pick any other card above it in Arena, and I would definitely go out of my way to dodge multiples if I have Zephrys, guys. For example, I'm playing a Hunter and I got a Zephrys, and I got a Savannah High main, and I got offered another Savannah High main, and I have slightly weaker options there. I will definitely go for those slightly weaker options because, guys, Zephrys is a game winner. For example, as I said, it gives you Twisting Nether at 10 mana if you are behind in board. And if you are not behind in board, it gives you Tyrion, right? It's insane. It's an insanely powerful card, and it routinely gives you stuff that you can wipe your opponent's board. It gives you Flame Strike, it gives you Shadow Flame, Twisting Nether, and all of the direct damage cards that are required for a lethal, like Fireball, as I was saying, Bloodlust, Savage Roar. Even if he fails sometimes, guys, that's because his programming needs to be improved a little. And I actually commend Blizzard on being able to design such a terrific card, and the algorithm that makes Zephrys work should be quite something, guys. But of course, I only wish that we didn't have card buffs and re-nerfs. I mean, maybe they should have poured a little more effort in there instead of this. And I also think it should be like a 2-2 or something, guys, because that's just, I mean, extremely good right now. It's a 2 mana 3-2, which is perfect. When you can just play it on turn 2, and it will give you nice cards. It will give you Animal Companion, Brightwing, and Wild Growth. If your opponent has a minion on the board, it will also give you Backstab instead of the Animal Companion, I think. So even on turn 2, which is not a very good play, guys, because at the end game it just becomes insane, right? If you're behind, it helps you clear the board. If you're ahead, it makes you go more ahead. And if you have a possibility of lethal, it gives you lethal. I mean, Zephrys is best saved for the late game. The only exception is against Bomb Warrior, guys, because they keep shuffling bombs in your deck, and if you actually have more than one bomb in your deck, Zephrys will not work. So against Bomb Warrior, just play it whenever you can. So that's that, guys. These are the changes in Hearthstone. We will keep playing Hearthstone every once and then, guys, but as I said, I do not have much tolerance for it right now because I've been playing it for quite a while and I kind of lost my patience for Hearthstone. Today we played a bit and the break did me good actually. We had some weird stuff happen and I could keep my cool while playing because normally, guys, Hearthstone is a triggering game. It triggers you. And I avoided those triggers today, but I'm sure if I play it for some more days consecutively, I will get triggered. So these are the changes, guys. If you have any questions regarding the nerfs, buffs, or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. We leave a comment and I will comment back. So see you. Good night.